Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good midnight snack, if maybe that's when you're listening to us.
I can go for a midnight snack.
Me too, and welcome to the Weekly Nerd Podcast. We got a jam-packed... Well, yes. I ate at 4:30 today, and it was good. Mac and cheese and chicken nuggets, because I was eating at my sister's house with a 3-year-old nephew. That's not how I always eat.
Who's adorable?
That I would admit.
Usually eat the mac and cheese.
Yeah, true.
He is adorable, but so my body is at this point going, all right, that was a nice holdover. When's the actual meal going to happen? And I'm like, oh, sorry, body. But welcome to the Weekly Nerd Podcast. This is the podcast right before Thanksgiving, so off the jump, we want to say Happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
Everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Tomorrow is also Drucker's birthday, so we want to say happy birthday to
Yay!
Mr. Drucker.
Happy birthday, Druck.
And speaking of Drucker, he is with us today.
Yep. Hi, guys.
And we have Tony Kaz.
Hello, everyone.
And I am Sam Brush. We do not have Zach today because he's on vacation from school for the week, and so he's not with us today. We didn't kill him. We didn't fire him.
Well, he did say something about basting himself for the bird
Like
dinner.
a turkey?
Yeah, like a turkey.
He was just sitting there, just pouring juice over himself. We tried to Skype him in, but that was what we saw, and we were like, we can't do this.
I think this
stick with a
coiling of the oven,
PG-13
he
rating.
kind of fit himself in and was like, hey, I can do it from in here.
It was terrifying. No,
Yeah.
but we got a jam-packed show for you today. A couple of topics to talk about, and then just some fun stuff at the end of it. So I guess first, let's talk about Fallout 76.
Yeah.
You don't own it, correct, Tony?
I didn't want to buy it until I actually had all the information that came out yesterday and today. As far
bad.
as like what's going on, what the heck they're doing.
Does not make you want to buy it, does it?
I think this is one of the... it's not the worst launch, because I've seen pretty bad launches with games.
Yeah.
But it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
We posted on our page earlier today about sales are down, 80% from Fallout 4?
80%.
Which,
yeah.
If you
I
guys
think people were just confused.
If you guys aren't familiar with the Fallout franchise, the Fallout franchise has a huge cult following. Just a huge cult following. People who love the lore, people who make YouTube videos all about it.
People who love the Lord or love the lore?
Some of both. They love the lore of Fallout. And
The lore of the Lord.
a lot
AKA
of
the Bible.
Yeah.
A lot of Bethesda's loyal player base didn't even buy this game.
And a lot of it's unfaithful, like myself, who has never once played a Fallout game in any way, shape, or form.
Right. And the thing is, I don't even think it's not even the multiplayer that scared people away from it. It was first of all, the miscommunication of the beta times. I think the whole
It wasn't a miscommunication. It was outright lying. It was outright
It was,
them not giving information.
It was Shady
Right.
McGrady.
Yeah.
And it was the day before that
Right.
they said, here's the schedule of the times you can play. And if you already pre-ordered this, you were kind of
You were done. Yeah.
Yeah.
You pre-ordered it thinking you could get a private beta, and you could. Well, but if you had work between 12 and 3 o'clock,
Your
on
normal
Monday,
hours of the day.
you can't play the beta. And that's what they did. And then there was rumors of what a lot of PC players had the beta just uninstall from their computer, and it's a big file. It takes a long time to
Yeah,
download.
massive hours. If
That
not a
was
full-
me.
if
I'm
not
an
a full
expert
day.
computer hacker.
I've heard multiple stories of how it takes 3 to 4 hours on a good connection to download this entire game onto your thing, and to get it wiped out like Thanos'
Right.
existence.
That's what happened. Thanos snapped, and half of the game copies were wiped out of existence.
Only half of them, and it was
That is the perfect explanation for anything bad that happens anymore.
anything now. Anything now.
I
He got
just-
snapped out of existence.
Thanos.
Oh, you bugger, you.
And on top of that, the reviews just started coming out for it today. Now, there were a lot of reviews that were posted like a week ago with the release but you had to be careful because usually day one, a lot of people will post on websites just to bring down the score of the game. If they
Well,
didn't
and
like
Bethesda is known for its glitches and such, so
Right.
you don't want to just jump at what
Right.
the original
But
game
here's
is.
the thing, and I was watching a video before the podcast, and they pointed out something interesting. Usually on day one when the game comes out, or a few days before, the reviews already come out.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have the embargo lifted or whatever.
Yep.
The reviews for Fallout 76 aren't even fully out yet. And that's because Bethesda didn't distribute review copies of the game to a lot of these
Because
writers.
they knew it would go bad.
Yeah, they knew how many excuse me, how many problems were wrong.
You're excused. Bye.
Tony
has to leave
problems
us.
were with the game. And I found it funny that the PlayStation copy actually had as much of a patch and download fix.
What is it, 50? What was it, 50 mega or
45 megabyte.
No, the game itself, the original game was
50. Yeah.
And the update was 45. It's almost as big as the game.
Almost as big as the game, which is entirely... And that's not for Xbox.
No.
That's just for PlayStation.
And see,
I can only image what the Xbox one is going to be.
People are so upset because I own a PlayStation 4.
Because it's a better console.
It's 500 gigabytes. Right there, that's 1/5 of all the space I can have on my system for one game.
Well, get yourself a terabyte.
I would love that.
That's what I have.
Yeah, right?
But right there, that's 1/5. And
terabyte on this computer.
There you go.
Let's say I want to keep another 2 or 3 games on my system. I can hardly do that if I had Fallout 76 because it takes up so much space on the system.
Yeah, crazy.
It's
a massive failure. What are we, 2 days into it? 1 day?
It's been a week.
A week or so, whatever. It's a massive failure so far. Absolutely.
And some of the stuff I'm reading says like the experience itself is not that bad, but the thing is, you could hardly, from what I'm hearing, you could hardly go 20 minutes in the game without bugs just in your face.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Which it's a broken game. I hear it's a very empty game. So
I heard very very negative things about it.
Open world is already hard to do, and
here, the thing with Fallout is, and I haven't played like Elder Scrolls or whatever. But I do.
But there is so much in Elder Scrolls.
Well,
and all the Skyrim
when you
games.
go to these locations in Fallout, even if there's no NPCs, there's still like terminals and whatever. You learn the story, you learn the lore of the place and the quests. Mm-hmm. And there's certain places in Fallout 76, for example, they described that there's a crashed space station. Mm-hmm. At first, it sounds really cool. You're getting to explore a crashed space station. You get to figure out why did this crash, whatever.
Well, because of the
But there's very little information given to you.
Oh, sure.
It's a very empty environment.
Well, in an open world, you have to have just a plethora of information that can be gathered.
Oh, definitely.
Right. And it sounds like they made a world that's too big for them to handle.
And especially lore that continues on with each game.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it's a Fallout franchise.
Exactly.
It's so much lore from the Fallout franchise. But they have some places that are littered with it, and then some places like this, it's a really interesting location, has nothing.
Well, and this game had the chance, because isn't it, the timeline of this, doesn't it take place fairly quickly after the nukes?
Fairly early.
Yes.
So they had a chance to explain things like, why are bottle caps the currency? And they had a chance to explain, and I don't play the game, so I don't know all the lore and stuff like that. But they had a chance to go back and go, you know what? Just as like they're different games, obviously, but in the Arkham franchise, Origins came 2 games in.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
And it showed, now obviously we all know the origins of Batman, but it gave us the origin story of certain things, introduced us to how he and the Joker met and stuff like that. So you had the chance with this game of doing that sort of thing, opening us up to where did what are they, the little boys or whatever, the mini nukes that you can shoot?
Yeah.
Where did they get those?
Yeah.
You know, all kinds of stuff that had happened, opportunity to set up, and apparently, and of course I'm not playing it, and none of us are playing it.
Yeah. I really wanted to wait. Fallout's like one of my favorite games. I love Fallout.
Well, I was talking to Sam before the podcast. With Fallout 4, when that was coming out, there was so much hype behind the game.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It was the first Fallout game on the next-gen console.
Yeah.
People could not wait to get their hands on it. Fallout 76 is not that.
No.
So many people were very skeptical of it, especially people who are fans of the franchise. And the thing is, for a company like Bethesda, you rely on your loyal fans buying, and then you rely on winning more fans.
Right.
And I don't mind them going to a multiplayer aspect with Fallout. It
could work.
It definitely could work, but you can't rid yourself of what made your series so
Well,
good and famous in the first place.
I was actually a fan of the whole computer series. I used to play Fallout 2, 3.
The original one?
The original.
Which
Fallout
are very
were
different
awesome.
games from
Really,
New
really
Vegas and 4 and stuff like that.
Like their VAT systems were very turn-based, and like some of them were a little odd.
And
like
even
you had to move a certain amount of squares.
Yeah.
And I know like VATS is very different now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not. I mean, I didn't like that it stopped time, and Fallout 4 didn't really stop time either.
Yeah.
But now it's just everything's normal and it works as just a quick aiming.
Right.
Now it isn't very useful for PvP or anything like that because you're going to get killed in the time it takes to do anything.
Yeah, true.
But Fallout, the thing that is known for is your story and your side quests. You have
Yeah.
all the lore and all the content in your world,
Definitely,
and you rid yourself
definitely.
of that in this game.
Well, Ryan
Which
Moore
he didn't
said,
have to.
No.
Ryan Moore said, I'm playing, and it's fantastic right now. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah. If you actually do play it, let us know what you guys think of it. The reviews
Yeah.
aren't great. I know Chris
If they fix,
Hodges liked it.
Yep.
if they fix these bugs, I might pick it up on a sale.
I
'Cause
will not.
I still enjoy Fallout, and if depending what they want to do with this game going into the future and fixing stuff,
Yeah.
it might be warranted to pick up on a sale. But
Well, and that's key too about an open world game. Like I play Star Wars: The Old Republic, and one of the great things about that game is that it's constantly adding side quests, side missions, side storylines, and stuff
what
like
are you
that.
going to
that
have
can
with
take
Fallout
part
76
in.
NPCs?
Well-
DLC NPCs.
Yeah,
yeah.
You'll have
yeah,
NPCs. That's the biggest question mark. No one knows what Bethesda's map is.
Well,
for
they don't know.
improving this game and moving forward. with
They're
this
not
game.
going
sure.
to. They're going to rely what they always rely on, which is user mods. In
which
a
which
few
aren't even
years,
coming until like a year.
I was going to say, in a few years, you'll be able to play Fallout 76, but it will be set in Mordor, and you'll just be Sauron running around. That's what will happen.
I'm in.
Turn off the screen for Fallout 4 and 76. Everything is the same. Well, I mean,
It is the same engine. Bethesda's
It is the
used,
same engine,
Bethesda has used the same engine since Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim. They've
Yeah.
used the same exact engine for Fallout 3, for Elder Scrolls 5, through
And
Fallout 4, all of
I'm
it.
not. I know Ryan here says, it's their first multiplayer game. Give them a chance.
No,
here.
they did Elder Scrolls Online too.
Right. It might be Fallout's first multiplayer game,
Right.
but it is
the
not
company
Bethesda.
the company has done multiplayer
Yeah,
with
definitely.
Elder Scrolls Online, which from people who have played that, they've told me that it's pretty much the same thing what Fallout 76 is.
Yeah.
It's just it's your average MMO.
And
it's-
in today's world where MMOs are huge, open world games are all over the place and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
they are.
I don't give a pass to a company that tries to do this because they have a blueprint of what works and what doesn't. And if you decide to do what doesn't work, then that's that.
And if you had taken Fallout 4, given me the multiplayer aspect, expanded the world, that
Yeah.
would have been a wonderful game. I probably would have bought it at launch
Yep.
yeah.
if that was the game.
Let's hop on a different topic. This is something that Tony just showed me. We posted this today. Was it last week that we talked about, or 2 weeks ago that we talked about the Disney streaming
Plus
service?
Streaming service.
I think it was 2 weeks ago. Well, they've come out with a possible other one that's going to be on there.
No, they already have. Who is it?
It's
Or-
Hawkeye. Loki is confirmed. Tom Hiddleston himself said it. So,
Yeah.
but Hawkeye, Loki, and then Scarlet Witch / Vision and
what it was.
Bucky and Falcon.
Bucky and
Bucky and
Falcon.
Falcon, yeah.
What is and I'm asking you because I literally, my brain just farted and I can't remember.
Rocket and Groot
That's it.
is a rumored
one.
television show series for Disney streaming or Disney Plus, I should say.
I'm not necessarily sold on that. Bye, David. David's leaving.
Wow.
I'm not necessarily sold on that as a great idea. Now, let me say why, and it's not just because I'm not as huge a fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy, because of all of the characters in that, Rocket is my favorite.
Oh yeah.
So, it's not because of that, but because if you go that route, everything's got to be CGI'd / motion capture. The other people have at least semi-compelling stories that you could tell. Hawkeye, you can go back years and do stuff if you wanted to in the past. You've got stuff that you can discover more about Bucky before he's the Winter Soldier. And stuff like that. The Scarlet Witch / Vision, I get. You can't do as much with that.
Story.
Right. Loki, again, thousands of years that you could pull from lore. These guys... And it's not saying because if you do well writing it and stuff like that, it can work.
Sure.
But you just don't have the ready-made stuff yet to make a show from those
Well,
two.
here's what I see it as. I see it as like a buddy cop show.
That's what I'm hoping Bucky and Falcon are.
Well, I'm hoping
How
that
many
it's
buddy
an
cop shows can we have?
10.
I'm hoping an